and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 12, with me, Stretch, and my two very good friends, Jim Jam and Tin Ribs. We'd like to start by saying we'd like to give our very, very best to Sven Eriksson, who this week has been told he's got a maximum of 12 months to live because he's got cancer, which I can't think of a lot worse, really, than that. And regardless of what you think about anybody, that absolutely sucks. So wish Sven the very, very best, and to be honest, I hope he fights it and he's got another 5-10 years left. That'd be great. So yeah, our very best to Sven Eriksson. Right, so we've got a couple of transfers and possible transfers to talk about. Sancho back to Dortmund. What do we make of that?
Good move.
What do we make of his time at Man United?
Not so good.
I don't understand why players like Sancho will go to Dortmund, play out of his mind, because he was superb at Dortmund. I don't think there's any dispute about that. Goes to United and he's basically dog shit. And then you've got the likes of Alexis Sanchez, who played out of his mind at Arsenal, basically carried the team for a little while.
Yeah.
Goes to United and he's absolute dog shit.
I think we've touched
Some
on this one
players
quite a lot.
don't suit a club like Fernando.
Yeah, but
Torres was a fantastic player for Liverpool. Went to Chelsea and
more recently,
toss.
though, nobody seems to suit Man United.
Yeah, but I'm going to, we brought this up before, that changing room has got to be toxic as fuck.
It's got to be horrendous, hasn't it? It's got to be fucking awful. Because it's so bad. I mean, they're actually playing right at the minute. As we're recording right now, it's Man United versus Spurs. It's half-time currently, and Man United are winning 2-1. And they're actually not playing too bad. They're still not great. Spurs have still got a lot of the game, but it's certainly better than it was. But they just seem to have so many issues at the minute.
But like Rashford, he scored and barely even a smile on the bloke.
It's true. It's like they're not really that bothered. It's crazy. I don't get it. But yeah, I think Sancho going back is a win for everybody. Sancho will get minutes. He's obviously going to play better. He's already assisted a goal within 20 minutes of being on the pitch or something stupid. And then when he goes back to United, obviously his value will be higher and people will probably be more likely to want him because he'll have played and he'll show that he's not shy to get on. He's just obviously something wrong with Man United and the way they do things.
But I still think he could play for a top 10 Premier League side. The potential's in there. He's a good player.
I completely agree. Also, Victor Osimhen has rejected Man United.
Don't blame him.
They went in for him and he's rejected them.
Yeah.
Again, that changing room.
But then if he's looked at the same things we're looking at, I don't blame him. Because no matter how big United are, you can be the biggest club on the planet. But if you're currently looking like, there's more coherence with Fraggle Rock than there is with your football team, then people aren't going to want to play for you, are they?
No.
So I don't blame him. Eric Dyer to Bayern Munich. I'll be honest, took me a little bit by surprise, that one.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting Eric Dyer, after not even playing this season, or barely playing this season, to end up at Bayern Munich. Bit of a big switch, I thought, for him, and he must feel like he's won the lottery.
They're probably just taking him over so Harry Kane's got someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Talk to us, bit out. And I think Kane's must have had something to do with that. Because there's no way Bayern Munich have looked at that. He's amazing, he is. I wouldn't mind someone that's going to leap into the crowd and try to beat
See, I think Eric Dyer, he's a good player because
he's
he
solid,
can play at centre-back. He can also play centre CDM as well. He's
a good player if you're not in the top 6. Oh, he is not. He might be a Premier League player. He's not a top 6 player. Tottenham's aspirations are top 6. Dyer is not.
Obviously not, because that's why they've got rid of him. Yeah, they had him for so. But then they were finishing in the top 6 when he was regular.
Yeah, but still, I just think.
And he was a good player for England as well.
He reminds me of like a Gareth Barry.
I think he goes completely.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's quite as good as Gareth Barry. I quite like Gareth Barry.
Yeah, what I mean is though, like if you put him in someone like Brentford, West Ham, Brighton, he'd do a job. Above that level, not really.
You don't think he'd help Man United then?
No, I don't think there is any help in Man United.
Well,
Wow.
Arsenal are in for Mason Greenwood's teammate, Borja Mayoral, if that's how you don't butcher his name. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. But Borja Mayoral, Greenwood's strike partner at Getafe. And we're bidding 22 million, which apparently has been rejected because they want closer to 39. I can't even sit here and say that's a rip-off or that's good value because I don't know who it is.
No.
I'd never heard of him before we were in for him. I'll be honest. We're also rumoured to be interested in Karim Benzema. And at, 35, 36 now? I think he's
You've got to take him on short term, haven't you? You don't want to commit.
If it was a 6-month loan to the end of this season, I'd happily snap his hands off because...
That's a good one if it is short term. But if he's the long-term solution to the problem of having no striker, then no.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me because our previous 2 concerns for our striker were David Raya, a goalkeeper, and Kai Havertz, a midfielder. So at least it's to step up because he's a striker. But I think Benzema, want it to be a long-term.
I think Benzema is hands down one of the best strikers in the world, especially over time. But the problem you've got is he is aging. Has he got the ability to play at the pace and the level of the Premier League at 35? Short term again, Man United. Right, but Man United did it a couple of years ago with
Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, and he did a good enough job, didn't he?
Right,
you know, so there are short-term fixes that can be done. Long-term, no, definitely not.
No, I would agree.
I think.
Well,
you can't. I mean, if they put him in for 6 months and then go after, oh my God, Tony in the summer, then that would make sense.
Yeah.
But
we're after a guy, I don't know if you two have heard of him, called Joshua Zirkzee.
No.
He's a Bologna striker.
Oh, yeah.
Joshua Zirkzee.
Okay.
Who, according to Twitter or X or Elon Musk platform or whatever you want to call it, amazing. He's the next coming if you look at Twitter, but I haven't seen a lot of
the problem is you can't just go by what they're doing in Italy because sometimes it just doesn't work.
Italy's league is a bit pants
again,
at the minute.
Because you look at Shevchenko.
No, he was good in the Premier League. Shevchenko was good in the Premier League.
Was he?
He was all right.
He was all right. Decent.
I wouldn't say he was good.
I wouldn't say he was good.
Back end of career as well.
Many.
But that's the thing.
So he's back end of his career, and he held his own.
I mean, Zirkzee's 22, and as far as I'm aware,
well, again, going on to the Italy League, going on X, Cross, wherever you want to call it, an honour. According to that, everyone was on about, he's one of the best in the world. Let's look at statistics. No, he's not. He's not. He's nowhere near it. And yet everyone was banging on Twitter about how great he was. He's shit. 10th best defensive record in Serie A. All that team has done is change the goalkeeper, and they've got the best defensive record in Serie A. I wonder what happened. He's shit.
He makes a good argument. You've got to give him.
But just because people bang on about how good he is does not make him fucking good. You've got half the African nations of fans on Twitter. Best goalkeeper ever. Yeah, you're shitty little.
I don't know, because everyone kept banging on and telling me how good Granit Xhaka was, and 7 years after he joined, he had a good season. So maybe it does work.
That hurt you to even say them words.
No, because he was an Arsenal player. I wanted him to be good. I wanted him to prove me wrong. I want Havertz to prove me wrong. I'm desperate for Raya to prove me wrong because he's fucking garbage and he's our number one goalkeeper. Well, we've got an actual class goalkeeper on the fucking bench.
Not for long.
And the thing is, as well, is you watch that FA Cup game, and our defence looked more comfortable, more happy, more content when Ramsdale was in there.
Yeah.
And every time he made a save, somebody went up and congratulated him. Yet when Raya makes a save, you see the fucking shock on their faces. It's like half of them have just seen Santa Claus. That's how surprised they are when Raya makes a fucking save. Anyway,
if the transfer window shuts and you haven't signed a striker, how are you going to feel?
We will be lucky to finish top 6, and there's no chance we'll get anywhere in the Champions League.
So for you, the only transfer you want to make
Striker.
is a striker.
Just want a striker. And they're like, well, we've got to get rid before we can sign. I can give you a fucking list of names if you want to get rid of some people. And guess what? Smith Rowe is not fucking one of them. When Smith Rowe was playing regularly, he was one of the best youngsters in Europe. He was outstanding. Oh, but this, but that, but the other. But he's been injured. So was Van Nistelrooy. He had a fucking cruciate injury before he went to United. Yeah, garbage when he went there, wasn't he? You can come back from an injury and still play well.
Yeah.
Van Nistelrooy was probably the best on the planet for a couple of years, and he just recovered from an ACL when he joined United. Literally, he'd been training about a month when he joined United for the first time. So don't tell me you can't come back from an injury, because you can, and Smith Rowe can. He just doesn't get the minutes because he's too busy playing fucking clown Kai Havertz. And to be honest, I'm fucking sick of it. Anyway, that was the intro. That's a long intro, isn't it? I can't put the best on that one. Anyway, play the music. Welcome to episode 12, and as usual, we're going to start with the week's events, which does include transfers, which we kind of lied on about a little bit in the intro. But there you go. We do. It was pointed out to me after the intro by these two that we should introduce transfers for the very, very, very small clubs. So Timo Werner, has made the pointless journey over to North London, on the wrong side of North London, where I believe he sat down after he first put a Tottenham shirt on and said, "I'm here to win titles." I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if he realises what club he's actually joined.
Yeah, he probably thought it was awesome.
Either that, or somebody said he'd joined Tranmere, and he got really excited, and then he's turned up at Tottenham, and he's like, oh. White kit, folding. He's like, oh, joined Tranmere, we've got a chance.
I think it's a good move for him. I think he was a good player, really.
I think every Chelsea fan will ever.
What?
Where was he a good player?
Werner.
Yeah.
Probably the Bundesliga.
A lesser league.
I was saying, you know what? On that comment about Sancho going to London, we're trying to realise Dyer's going and Sancho's going. Maybe it's not as good a league as we think.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the competition in the Premier League is not as good as people make out, because it's just City's to lose. Like every year when you start, it's City's trophy to lose. So we're not the standout league anymore. But then is there any? Because Scotland are basically Celtic, we're basically City, Germany are basically Bayern Munich. Are there any divisions?
League One, Paris Saint-Germain,
Ajax.
So it's the most competitive.
Really?
So it's the most competitive league.
But the one team you mentioned have to fall apart in order to not win the league.
Yeah.
So we've just fallen in line with every other league in the world.
So it's the most competitive league, Serie A.
It's got to be, isn't it?
Because you don't know who's going to win that league.
It's got to be. I mean, it's dog shit, but it's the most competitive in a pretty poor way. Because it's not, you're not telling me it's back to the days of Baggio and Cannavaro, and them players just aren't over there anymore.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's just
look at the Italian national side; they're struggling.
Yeah, until they play England, and we make them look fucking amazing. But only in a final. I hate England. So yeah. Anyway, enough of the small team talk, because Timo Werner's probably going to flop. Tottenham are probably going to flop, although if we don't buy a striker, they will more than likely finish above us. But it is what it is, and I'm honest enough to admit that Arsenal are not a good team. And if there is anybody listening, I might clip this and put this up just to put it out there. But if there is anybody listening that supports Arsenal and thinks Arteta is good and thinks he should stay and thinks we should trust the process, whatever the fuck that irritating phrase means, Can somebody in the comments name me one Arsenal player, one, that is better now than 12 months ago? One. Because they've all been trained by Arteta. And in that 12 months, they've only been trained by Arteta. They've only been managed by Arteta. And Arteta is telling us at the beginning of January he doesn't want to buy anyone because he wants to improve the squad he's got. Well, you've already fucking gone backwards with the squad you've got. So clearly that's not something you're capable of. That's something that's left for the real managers. As much as I hate to say it, Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. They're the two that improve players. Arteta has made every single player we've got worse. To the point where Kiwior can score a goal now, but in our net. The way Saka is now predictable. He's now become a one-trick pony. I don't think he used to be. I think he is now. He used to be all over the pitch. Left foot, right foot, outside the box, in the area. All over the place. Now, just straight down the right wing, cuts inside, tries to have a shot. Every now and then, if he can be asked, he'll try and cross it in. To who? We've got Jesus, who's like 5'4", and then we'll bring him off, and we'll put on Nketiah, who I'm fairly certain is related to the borrowers, because he's only about 5 foot. Who are you crossing it to? Who are you crossing it to? Martinelli's on the wing. Odegaard's less than 5'10". Havertz is the only one that's 6 foot, and I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him scoring a brothel, let alone score a goal. Did you see him like the last time Arsenal were out against Liverpool? Fucking dreadful. Dreadful. And he has had a couple of good games, and I've praised him when he's had a couple of good games. A couple of good games does not make a good player. Sorry, shocking. Anyway, we'll move on from my annoyances. Arteta needs to go. Chelsea 1, Fulham 0.
Yeah.
There's a couple of events in this which I'd like to talk about. Right. I think all three of us agree that penalty was a penalty.
Yeah.
It was an outright penalty. It was a stonewaller, and it was never going to be given as anything other than a penalty. However, shortly before said penalty, Gusto made a challenge, assault, attempted murder, whatever you want to call it, on an ankle. And got booked for it. Now, for me, personally, I think that was a stonewall red card. Because it's exactly the thing that Romero got sent off for when he got sent off. And then the very same thing that Romero, the game he come back, didn't get sent off for.
Yeah.
So that exact challenge got Romero sent off, didn't get Romero sent off, got Gusto booked, and then Silva made the same challenge. 39,000-year-old Silva made the same challenge later in that game, didn't even get booked for it.
Yeah.
For the exact same challenge. You've had a red card, a nothing, a yellow card, and a nothing. All for stonewall red cards.
Might be the team that they're playing against.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Is it not a red because it's Fulham?
I honestly don't understand some decisions. Are they favouring Chelsea? Are they favouring the bigger side, so to speak? It always seems to go that way.
That was the exact same chat. Although those challenges are over the top to the front, it's the exact same challenge as the one I was on about against Somerville. He's lunged out, studs up into the back of Somerville's ankle in the West Brom game. Nothing. Play on. There's this weird thing where you are allowed.
Your issue with the Somerville one is the lack of VAR.
Yeah, there is no VAR.
There is to review it.
Yeah.
So I get in some of them, like with the Thiago Silva one. The first time I saw it, I thought, that was a bit of a shitty challenge. And then you see it in VAR or in replay, and you think, fucking hell, that was horrendous. So I get why it was missed initially. Again, the Somerville one, I haven't seen it. So I don't know if it
studs up into the lower ankle.
Did it look horrendous first time round, or was it after you'd seen the replays?
I thought it was a foul straight away. He's running away from him, and he's running straight ankle.
Honestly,
no.
So that's the view.
So the lack of VAR has done that then.
Yeah.
Because even with the Thiago Silva one, although he wasn't booked at all, initially I just thought that's a bit of a shit challenge. To pull on somebody, then you see it again, you're like,
it just seems that at the moment they need to decide on whether a studs up lunging tackle.
Well, they don't need to decide. It's written in the rules. If you go into a tackle, connect with someone, stood showing, it's a red card.
And that goes
because
on
that
to,
is considered endangering the
that
safety
goes
of
into
an
last
opponent.
week's that we didn't actually mention, which was Dominic Calvert-Lewin's
We
red
didn't
card.
actually mention about that.
And Everton fans are going nuts, going, how's that a red card? Game's not a red card. How was it a red card? Because it was given a red card. Absolutely, it was a red card. The guy slid in.
But he still gets that game ban, though. Because if he now gets a red, he gets a 4-game ban, not a 3.
But
did you know that was in the rules?
What?
Because he's been shown a red,
right,
rescinded or not. If he now gets another straight red, it's a 4-game ban, not a 3, because he's already been shown a red card. I know. I don't understand it. I think it's fucking stupid.
That's like
that is part of the rules.
That's like getting convicted, being let off a sentence, and then 10 years down the line you get convicted of something. They go, "Oh, do you remember that court case you had 10 years ago? We're just going to add a couple of years on because you're."
Or it's like saying, "Well, you would have got away with this crime, but because you got away with that one, but you got accused of it, we're going to give you 6 months inside." It's just ridiculous. But yeah, genuinely, if he gets recorded, it'd be a 4-game ban, not a 3, because he's been shown a red card. Even though it's been crazy,
insane.
Honestly, check it. Genuinely, that's true.
It was a red card. I'm sorry, it was a red card. He went up, he slid with his studs up and caught the player. It doesn't matter if he only just caught him. It was
just the side of the leg, wasn't it? Where he caught him. But it was it was studs that caught him, though, wasn't it?
Does it matter?
But it was studs that caught him. It was the bottom of his foot. It wasn't the top of his foot or his, the side of his calf that caught him. It was his studs. Yeah. And it's written in the rules. If you are studs showing above the ground, you can go into a slide tackle where you stood showing, as long as you're going sort of either next to somebody or you're coming round and your foot or your shin is going into them to get the ball. But if you go into somebody stood showing, written in the rules, your studs are showing, and certainly if they're above the ground, it's a red card because you're considered out of control and you're endangering the safety of your opponent. So yeah, with Calvert-Lewin's, his studs were showing. He was above the ground because it hit his calf, not his foot. Stood showing. It's a red card.
Yeah.
But they rescinded it. So what can you do?
It makes no sense.
There's nothing you can do. It's crazy. And then after Chelsea fought, I watched the Everton Villa game.
Yeah.
Which was honestly one of the most boring games I've ever watched in my life. It was horrendous. I was willing something to happen. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy Villa haven't won because that would just make Arsenal's life even more miserable than Arteta's already making it. Yeah. But god damn, what a boring game. It was awful. Did you watch? You watched it, didn't you, Tim?
Most of it, but yeah.
Did you see anything worth watching in that game?
The only takeaway that I had was how fucking long it took them to remove the goal, disallow it. It was almost like they started nitpicking rather than just going, "This is why." It was like, "Oh, well, what about this? Oh, yeah, but what about this? Oh, no, that's okay. What about this then? Oh, what?" Do you know what I mean? They really nitpicked the fuck out of it. What was it? 5-6 minutes to rule it out?
3 minutes 44 seconds.
Oh, there you go.
Even that's
it felt fucking longer.
That's what Jamie Redknapp said. He goes, "We're not getting that 3 minutes and 44 seconds back."
No,
but he did, and he hit the nail on the head. He went, "Foul in the build-up. It's obvious. Don't even bother looking at the offside because there's a foul in the build-up. Yeah. There you go. Job done. No goal.
Should be easy, shouldn't it?
Should be easy.
Why is it people in the VAR room can't understand the rules of the game? Surely they should know the rules if you're going to officiate, even if it's from a distance. If you are officiating a game of football, you should know the rules. And some of them just don't. Hence the stud showing where they're getting booked and they're not sending the referee to them on. If you don't want to make the call and say it's definite red, then say to the ref, you need to have a look at that. Studs are showing, it's hit his shin. Potential angle. If anybody's going to look at that challenge, certainly the one from Gusto and then the one from Silver afterwards, and they're going to look at them challenges and go, "There's no way that could break his ankle," then you're fucking on drugs. Yeah. Because that is an ankle breaker every day of the week. And it's with the studs. It's a red card. How can you not give that as a red card? I don't understand it. I don't get it. who are these idiots that are sat in Victoria Park or wherever it is?
Yeah, so for offsides, if you've got to draw a line, it's onside. It's that simple. If you can't tell by looking, it's onside.
I've said many, many times, and I will continue to say, the offside rule states it is there to prevent an unfair advantage. If you are this far in front of somebody else, is that an unfair advantage? Or is that not an advantage at all in any way, shape, or fucking form?
You're in the porn industry, I think it might be.
Yeah, well, if you're that much bigger than me, you're not getting a job in porn anyway. It doesn't make much difference. But the point is, it's there to stop an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
And if you've got, like you said, if you've got to draw lines, then that is not an unfair advantage. Play to the rules. Don't just make the rules up to suit whatever you want, because like life doesn't work like that. Coppers can't just come up and arrest you just because they've bent the rum. I mean, okay, some of them do, but mainly in America.
It's an important question. What do you watch a football game for?
Me?
Yeah, what do you watch?
Entertainment, mainly.
And the entertainment is... Well,
it's got to be enjoyable, hasn't it?
Scoring goals.
It's got to be enjoyable.
You watch football to see goals.
And it's not enjoyable if it's stopping for 10 minutes every now and then to check an offside or to check whether... Has he pulled his shit? You fucking know if he's pulled his shit.
We want goals.
Yes, you want goals. So you want fair goals.
Why are we trying to get rid of goals?
You want fair goals. I don't want someone Gary Lineker in it and standing, 30 yards offside. And someone they can in basketball, just stand under the basket and someone launches the ball across the court to you. I don't want that sort of thing, but
give the offsides a little bit more advantage to the striker, and you're going to see more goals.
They definitely need it. They definitely need it because there's some goals that have been ruled out over the past couple of years. Do you know what? And then all these people that you talk, and you hear them, pundits and commentators and this, that, and the other. Oh, VAR's here now. You can't get rid of it. Why the fuck not? You introduced it. Why can't you get rid of it? Do you know how many rules? Like even offside, fouls, the handball rule. How many fucking times has that changed?
Yeah,
it's come in. It's gone out. It's come in. It's gone out. It's got to be here. Now it's not a handball if it touches there. Well, what happened to all the millions of times over the years where the ball's hit there and it's been a handball?
There's been stupid rules.
But they've taken that back and you're allowed to hit it there now on your shirt.
You know what?
So they can take VAR out of the game as well because it's fucking destroying it. Mainly because VAR in itself, the video assistant referee, is absolutely immaculate because it's there to show you a replay of what's just happened. It does that flawlessly. Because every time I've watched a replay, it's shown me exactly what's just happened on the pitch. The people running VAR, however, all need fucking sacking. Or sending to the electric chair. Maybe it'll jolt some sense into some of them. Because it's an absolute joke the way it's run at the moment. It's just crazy. I don't understand how all these people can get... You can't take VAR away now. You can't get rid of it. Because it's here to stay. Why is it here to stay? Why does it have to be here to stay?
It doesn't have to be.
I'm sorry, you're both now in the championship, right? Have you got VAR?
Unfortunately, not.
You don't have VAR?
No.
Oh, so it's not part of the English game then? Is that what you're telling me? It's only one part of the English game and only this much of an FA Cup competition, which used to be great.
See, that's what annoys me.
So you can't have VAR. So if you're a fan, right, of a lower league side, and you get knocked out because Burnley in the Premier League have scored a goal that was too far offside, but then Burnley go on and get saved by VAR in the semi-final, how fucking hard done to are you? Because you're like, well, if I'd have had VAR in our round, at Burnley's ground, where they've got VAR, we can't use it, because you're only in the third round.
Yeah. Mm. I just don't think...
Horrendous.
If you start a tournament without it, you finish the tournament without it.
Yeah. Personally, I think VAR should just be eradicated.
So if, say, the FA Cup happens and the magic happens and Maidstone get all the way to the semi-final and it's at their ground, there can't be VAR.
Well, I mean, if they got to the semi-final, it would be played at Wembley. But I get your way of thinking.
Yeah. Good point.
Because all semis are now played at Wembley, which I think, again, fucking stupid. I get they've done it because they need to pay for Wembley. I'm sure with all the concerts and football that are coming in years, you could. For me,
Sure,
Wembley is a final. It should not be there for a semi-final. It cheapens it for me.
It's like Stoke enjoyed their semi-final at Wembley when they beat Bolton. I think it was Bolton 5-0 or whatever it was.
Is this when City beat them 1-0 when Yaya Toure scored?
So their final was the semi-final.
Yeah,
because
they were at Wembley and they had a win at Wembley. Their fans celebrated a win at Wembley. Right, so they all went out dropping clay all around London afterwards, and then they got up there for the final. None of them were bothered because they're like, "Well, we've already won that, ain't
You know, I went to an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley with Southampton. We lost.
That was a bit of a cheap shot at Stoke fans. But yeah, I think VAR should be removed, and all these people saying it can't be removed. I'd like to know why. Because rules are forever being brought in and taken out and changed, and just change the VAR. We're not having it.
It should be dead simple, you know, like goal line technology.
Goal line technology is, bar the one occasion, which I believe was a Villa game, which was shocking. I'm not sure how it failed that day, but everybody in the world can accept that out of the amount of years we've had it, there's been one mistake with goal line technology that I can think of.
You know what the best thing about that game was? VAR was there.
Yes, it was.
But it
couldn't intervene on a goal because they've got the goal line technology. Yeah. It's only penalties, fouls, and red cards. It should be there
for a clear and obvious error.
Honestly. And another reason VAR should not be fucking there. Should not be there. Because it's like if you've got...
we can't do this. We can't do that. It's like...
It's obviously a corner.
Yeah.
And the ref goes, goal kick. With VAR's there, can't they just go, you've made a bit of a boo-boo there. That should have been a corner, not a goal kick. Yeah, but I've given a goal kick now. You can't get into... Why can't they get involved? They're there for mistakes. Clear and obvious errors.
They should just do it. There you go.
Ridiculous. So for me, I might even do a poll. I'll do a poll on Twitter. Should we get rid of VAR? Because I'm curious as to what everyone thinks and how many people actually like it. So we're going to go for a little break now, and we shall be back with you shortly. Hello, and welcome back from the break. We've actually had a much longer conversation than we probably should have had. But what we want to start to do is, we're going to continue talking about transfers. And we have a couple involving Leeds.
Yep.
So away you go, Mr. Leeds.
So obviously we sent Spence back. What a disappointment.
I can't tell you from England's point of view how disappointed I am with his lack of progress from when he was at Forest.
Yeah.
I had the misfortune of speaking to Sven, a very good mate who's a Spurs fan. When they signed Spence, I turned around to Sven and said, he's going to be the next Ashley Cole. He's so good. He's so fast. He's just such a rock at the back. I said he's going to be this country's next Ashley Cole, and I can't wait. Boy, how I've been fucking proved wrong.
No, you probably have. He probably is Ashley Cole, just not the football side.
The cheating prick side.
Yeah. But
all about the money.
So, obviously, initially, Farke was very hush-hush on, he just sort of said that things weren't working out. There's been things recently, I saw it on a Tottenham fan base Twitter, and basically we sent him packing because he was turning up late to training, turning up to events, turning up to like team commitments and stuff, turning up to them late. Lazy attitude, bad attitude, and to be fair, on the pitch you could see it. His attitude was shit.
He can't be late to shit.
And that's why we sent him back. But again, Tottenham are trying to flog him off straight away. Like, he's in, fuck off. So that one, not bothered about. The one I am a little bit bothered about, but I do understand it, is the sale of loaning, end of Ayling's career at Leeds. Is
Luke Ayling. So a fun place in my heart because he's ex-Arsenal. Yeah, I did like him.
So Bill, as he was nicknamed, he was one of the best players for us throughout the Bielsa era. And to be fair, he's always been underrated for his ability level. He's always excelled. He's always put everything in. And for the 200 grand we paid for him, I think he's been an absolute bargain.
Like a James Milner, isn't he?
Yeah, seven and a half years.
Never going to be an 11 out of 10, but always gives you a good, solid 7 to 8.
Yeah, but he's 7.5 years, and his contract was running out in the summer. And, fair play, the club said, we're not going to re-sign you. You're not going to get a new contract. Nothing against him, but at the end of the day, you've got to look at wages, you've got to look at where you're going. Yeah. He's in his early 30s, I think he's 32. So he hasn't really got a lot more to offer our club. We are looking at the future of the players, people bringing in improvements. So is it fair to leave him hanging around to find a new club or loan him out and let him play? So
it's a fair comment.
And he's gone to Middlesbrough, who one of our rivals, but him and Greenwood, they're both on loan there. Middlesbrough are decent enough size, and he's going to get game time. He played in his debut, and I didn't see it, but from all the stats and the team ratings, he was their best player, literally. Yeah. And it's great because he's always got a smile on his face. I love him, absolutely love the bloke, and I do wish him the best going forward. But what I really, really loved, and you can tell how much he meant to the team as a team. There was pictures put up, all Leeds, Facebook, Instagram, made a massive deal of his going. It wasn't like everyone else is gone. Massive. I don't think. I mean, we made a big deal of Pablo Hernandez going. I don't even think he got this level. He had players he's played with saying their goodbyes. He had goodbyes. He had question time. He's had everything. He's had little memorial cop, like imagery things given. Brilliant. Absolutely loved it. And you could see the love for him. And when Jorginho scored the third goal, he did the Ailing guitar celebration. And that just sums up what he meant to the club for me. And I just thought it was a really beautiful moment when Jorginho scored, and then when he did that celebration.
It's what you want, though, isn't it? He's one of them few players that's going to leave a club and still go back a hero because nobody dislikes him.
Absolutely.
There's not many footballers that get that kind of respect. I mean, look at Sanchez. He was great for Arsenal.
When Middlesbrough released "We've signed him" thing, I went in the comments, and it's just lots of Leeds fans saying how much we love him and hope the best for him. Again, that's nice. None of this, you're a traitor. It was all good. Even like when he said, "I hope you understand why I'm leaving." Yeah. Everyone's like, "Hope you come back as a coach." Hope that So he obviously does have a lot of love. Yeah. Mm. So good to see him go, but I
can't ask for more than that as a footballer. No. Can you?
Some players kind of do,
especially when you've been there so long.
I remember one player that when he left us was Ricky Lambert.
Yeah,
he gave us so much, and he unfortunately, he went to Liverpool, but he was a Liverpool fan, which was his only downside, really. But I love the bloke, and it was like, it's so sad when he actually
James
left.
Beattie for you? Because I thought James Beattie was sort of similar, like level of love, or was that just?
Yeah, James Beattie, good player, didn't know hard feelings. Whereas some players leave in a bad way, like Lovren, he was a complete knob when he left. Adam Lallana didn't leave in the best way. And the one that really got me was James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah?
I'm not ashamed to say it. When that officially went through, it brought a tear to my eye. I was gutted. I knew it was going, but I was gutted.
Trying really hard not to laugh.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You've seen him grow as a player from being a squad player, from a little puppy, and he came through.
And some players, traitorous twat. To be honest, I always thought Ward-Prowse was a great player, and I think he should have more caps for England because I do think he's a very, very good player. But then you look at the English midfield.
Yeah,
there's some fucking talent in there. And he is good. He's very, very good. But there is some talent.
Like you were probably gutted when Henry left.
Oh, absolutely wounded when Henry went. But again, a lot like the Eiling one, we saw different reasons. But we looked at it, and all the Arsenal fans were like, "I get why you're going. Understand why you've always wanted to play for Barcelona. I get it. We can't sort of pin you here any longer." And we let him go, and then he decided he was going to come back and beat Leeds in the FA Cup. I actually watched that game at your house.
Yeah.
The game Henri came back for, and I even said to you, I said he always wanted number 12, so I guarantee he'll come back and he'll have number 12 because it was Walcott at the time. I've been given 14.
Walcott was 14.
I said he'll come back and he'll be number 12 because that's what he wanted when he first joined Arsenal.
Who had that shirt?
Nobody at the time. Oh, when he first joined?
Yeah.
No, I think it was Lauren, wasn't it? Oh, right back. Lauren was number 12 for a long time. But he couldn't have 12, so he had 14. So I said to you, he'll come back, he'll be number 12. I said, this game's going to be a bit dull. It's going to be 0-0. Henri's going to come on and score the winner. And that's exactly what happened to the lair. He literally came on about 6 or 7 minutes later. Yeah. It was a typical Henri. He got played through to the left-hand side, and he just killed his body and killed it round with his right foot. And Tin went, fucking knew it. That was a great game, that was. But yeah, when he left, absolutely gutted. And to be honest, when he came back on loan, when he left again, gutted again. Because they didn't want him to go, because it's Henri, isn't it? Nobody wants him to go. Mate, if Tony Adams came back now as a 65-year-old or whatever he is, I'd still be pissed off when he left because it's Tony Adams. Yeah. And to be honest, he's not going to be any worse than Gabriel because I don't think he's that good anyway. I think even in his 60s, he'd do a better job than Gabriel. And Ian Wright would definitely do a better job in his 60s than the fuckers we got up front at the moment.
So the other thing that about transfers as well is don't fall in love with loan players. Should always be the rule because sometimes they just bite you in the ass. Yeah. Like I'm thinking Toby Alderweireld, he should have been playing for us. It looked like we were going to sign him and Tottenham stole him.
Stole him?
Yeah. Stole him.
They didn't buy him.
We had an agreement. We had a fee set.
Tottenham had a fee and a contract in place for William.
Yeah.
And he went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
They literally had the contract basically ready for him to sign. It was all sorted. And then William went, just give me a minute, I'm just going to nip over here and I'm just going to use their bathroom. I'm going to Chelsea now, sorry.
So, at the moment...
It happens more than you'd fucking think.
Dan James on his original Leeds transfer.
Wasn't he sat at Leeds at the time? Ready to sign the contract?
Contract signed. Shirt was already signed. Everything was ready. He was sitting ready to do the official release. And for some reason, Swansea conveniently forgot to answer their phones, faxes, or anything to finish the deal. And then Man United had a £5 million more deal in the summer. Wonder what happened there.
Shitty, isn't it?
Yeah. But
and that was Leeds anyway.
So right now, I would love us to sign Ryan Fraser.
Yeah.
I want him to stay. Please stay.
I'm the same with Rodon, but I got burnt with Ben White. So I understand that whole.
No, I'm okay. You getting burnt with Ben White? Yeah, I love Ben White. I think he's great. Yeah. He needs to sort his fucking hairstyle out. I love Ben White.
But yeah, so yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You get these lone players in, and they change your game. They're amazing, and then.
Have you noticed actually since Arsenal players all started dyeing the hair, we've gone shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is in that dye?
It's the peroxide killing off
what is in that dye? Seriously, because we've all had our hair dyed and they're all garbage now.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on? There's something filling that dressing room. Other than Arteta's stench, there must be someone else doing it. Must be the dye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, are you guys looking at anybody else? Is there anyone on the radar?
Joe Rothwell, we've heard from Bournemouth. He's playing in the Premier League a bit. We're looking at him. It was on X today saying that the deal was done. I think good rotation. The biggest thing that I want now, I don't want somebody to come in and rock the boat because obviously the harmony in our dressing room must be immense at the moment.
It's definitely all different to Man United. That's for damn sure.
So whoever needs to fit into that philosophy. So that's why I'm like, I'd love to sign Brian Fraser, but it's not going to happen. He's already said it's not going to happen in this window because
but it doesn't matter as long as he stays on loan for the next 6 months. It doesn't matter.
So we're fine on that one. It's just going into next season. So other than that, I would only want us to potentially look at a right back. but somebody that's happy to be on the bench kind of thing, because
Spence.
that's...
I mean, he's not going to turn up till half time, so he'll be fine on the bench, won't he?
Because Cal Walker-Peters, he's played every single minute, and we need him to stay fit. But if he gets injured, who goes into that?
You can put him on for the last 10 minutes because that's all he'll be there for.
Yeah, but like I just said, he's got a bad attitude. So you don't want to somebody in with a bad attitude.
Because it's like I was saying earlier, there's an attitude thing with some of these younger players like Jed Spence, who probably thinks he's owed something rather than worked for something. And we got little Creswell, and he's amazing, really good, young talent. But
do you want to just say his full name for them that don't know who it is that you're talking about? Because there'll be a lot of people listening that are like, "What's Creswell?"
Okay. Oh Christ, now we know. No. But basically, I was about to say Richie Creswell. But basically, he's gone from being an England under-21 international, major promising player, signed new contract, got the number 4 shirt, and I would assume he's going to be like in that fight for who's going to take up the main 2. I mean, our main 2 are Strauch and Rodon. No two ways about it. Those 2 together are really good. But he's apparently there's like this thing saying that his form's gone down and his attitude's horrendous, and he's basically just not willing to fight. It's almost like he expects things. I mean, this is all hearsay, but it was quite like a scathing little thing on it on Twitter, like going on about his attitude. But then you look at some of these players and you start to understand these youngsters, they've got the wrong mentality. You hear Roy Keane and stuff talk about it. You know, they're saying things like, "Oh, yeah, they've got the wrong attitude." I mean, Keane just rips the Man United team apart all the time.
Yeah. Like, he spends a lot of time doing that.
Yeah, when he was slagging off Lingard, too busy worrying about his Instagram rather than playing football. Look at Lingard with that one though. But he did, because look at where Lingard is now. He's an Instagram star.
He's offered himself for free to Barcelona of all teams.
Yeah.
All right.
Now he's come out and said he just wants to play football. You should have fucking thought about that when you were at West Ham, shouldn't you? Copy it for.
Yeah, but this is it, and it's like it seems like a lot of youngsters these days are getting. Look at Nonto. He had all that wrong advice. Oh, play up, they'll let you go. No, we won't.
And that's it. Some teams will just put the foot down.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll give Fark. He's, and our owners, they're willing to go, actually, no.
Sometimes it has to be done.
So, but it does seem that Charlie Cresswell is now stuck in that position of having his attitude needs to adjust from all the things I'm reading. He needs to, and again, talent-wise, he should be our third choice centre-back, pushing to edge out the other 2. He should be looking at a position of, if Joe Rodon does not sign for us in the summer, it will be Strauch and Creswell in the Premiership. But instead, he's got his arse in his hand, he's doing something wrong, his attitude is shit, and he can't even get on the bench for an FA Cup game.
Is it me, or has he jumped the gun a little bit, saying he's going to be in the Premiership?
I heard that.
It wasn't just me that thought that, was it?
It's called being hopeful.
That was a bit more than hopeful.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really enjoying the Championship. There's a part of me that wants to win the league but stay in the Championship.
Not gonna happen.
Win the league but stay in the Championship. I reckon you're probably one of one that would choose to do that.
But yeah,
I like winning.
Everybody likes winning.
But yeah,
I like winning.
I think I feel I can't remember what winning's like. We haven't won. I don't think we've won this year, have we? I think it was 2023 last time Arsenal won a fucking game.
That's the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Oh!
There's no need for you can go off, people.
But yeah, so I think what you're saying is right. You need to have someone with the right attitude, and it just seems to be these days. It's like becoming a really hard thing to get people with the attitude to.
When your issue is, I think, when you've got real popular players, like Pogba, that turn into a massive prick.
Yeah.
That filters down then, because he was a favourite player of so many kids, and it turns out he's just a bellend.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's not good when you've idolised such a twat for so many years.
Yeah. But like I say, this is where I was leading to. So Pogba, shitty attitude, rubbed off in the Man United changing room. It fucked him off. Shitty attitude stayed. Jed Spence comes into Leeds, shitty attitude. Some of our youngsters who can't struggling, their attitude's now shit. You don't want toxic players. So please take Jed Spence.
No.
But no, it's been an interesting one. There's a couple of rumours for us to bring players in. Brooks from Bournemouth.
David Brooks.
Yeah.
Great player. Midfielder.
Yeah, winger.
Brilliant.
But I'm not sure we need a winger.
Central
Though
midfielder.
there's a lot of talk about a Nonto, 30 million.
Central midfielder, Brooks.
Is he?
When he's played central midfield for Bournemouth, he's been outstanding.
Oh, okay.
But he's more, I would say he's more of an Odegaard type.
Okay.
Whereas he pushes forward, but central.
I heard he was right winger. So.
Yeah,
I think he is a right winger, but when I've seen him in that attacking midfield role, it's been absolutely unreal.
Yeah,
not quite at Odegaard, Phil Foden, that kind of level.
Yeah.
Not
I know what you're saying.
He's a superb player.
So he's the one, Welsh. So we've got Ampadu, Rodon, and now we're looking at Brooks. And also from Burnley, we've got Connor Roberts, who's also Welsh. It seems like we're trying to buy the Welsh national team, to be honest.
Maybe. Are you going to get gigs to babysit all the wives and girlfriends?
Yeah, why not? Why not? But yeah, but it does seem that these are players that are available that apparently that we're rumoured to be in for. So we'll see.
Sweet. Right, I think what we should do is go on to the predictions game.
Oh dear.
Which I'm not going to say I had the best week this week, but I had the best week this week. Not by a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, it hasn't made much of a difference.
I didn't have a very good week. I was happy, but
we had 3 games.
Yeah,
we had 3 games. We had Cardiff v Leeds, we had Saints v Sheffield Wednesday, and we had Macclesfield v Dorking, which was Jim Jam's selection because Arsenal didn't play this week. Hence the reason this week I'm wearing a Macclesfield top out of respect because we've gone for Macclesfield's game. Now, the Cardiff Leeds game, I would like to point out this is the first time we actually took the piss out of you for saying Leeds were going to win 3-0 every week.
Yeah.
And because we took the piss, I think you changed it this week and went for 2-0. And
Leeds won 3-0 last week at 3-0, so I thought they're not going to win 3-0 twice on the bounce.
They won 3-0. So had you just stuck with your 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, you only got 3 points this week. However, you stuck with 1 point.
Yeah.
We all got a point apart from Alien J, who thought Cardiff were going to win 3-2.
Oh.
I said Leeds would win 2-1. You put 2-0. You said 2-0. And Darryl was the closest. He said 3-1.
Yeah.
So he was very close.
What pissed me off, though, and I'll go into another pissed off when we come to the Saints game, was I said 2-0. And we scored right at the end. Saints were 3-0 right until the end.
You had 3-0 for Saints. Who scored in what, the 90-something minute, was it?
It was late, wasn't it?
It was pretty late on, wasn't it?
I was a bit inebriated.
It was just like
time.
Oh yeah, anyone that's listening. We had a couple of live videos posted, which were a surprise to me and Tin as they were to anybody else. As we opened TikTok to find this man's face, rather drunk, telling us how good Chester is for a night out.
Yeah,
and also telling us, what was it? Saints, come on, the Saints! Yay! And then the video went off.
Yeah,
it was quite funny actually. So well worth watching. TikTok, Sunday League Pundit Show, and look for that man's face.
Yeah,
very drunk. It was quite amusing. So thank you for that. You entertained me last night.
So yes, my team and the Saints fucked me over in the night within the last 10 minutes of the game.
Well, within the last 5 minutes of the game, I'd say you got proper screwed over because you had 2-0 for Leeds and they scored late on to make it 3, and you had 3-0 for Saints who scored late on to make it 4.
There was actually that moment when we missed the penalty, and I was like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, we got 3 points. I'm okay. And then they scored late on. You're like, oh, we just got the penalty now.
Yeah.
So Saints beat Sheffield Wednesday 4-0. I had 3-1, so I get a point. You had 3-0, as you're well aware. You get a point. You had your team to lose.
Yeah.
So just gone back.
Yeah, because
so you get no points.
it's going to happen at some point.
This is twice you've done that now.
I'm very happy.
Jay had 1-0, so he gets a point. And Daryl again got the right amount of goals, 3-1. Just should have chucked one over and give you another one. So we all get 1 point, apart from the Saints fan, who had Saints to lose, so he gets no points.
Yeah, I'm happy with no points.
I'm certain you are. I'm certain you are. Now we get on to what has to be the game of the day.
What?
Right, because I, being the optimist, thinking Alex Bruce is going to do something here. I reckon we've got a chance against Dorking, 3 leagues above us. So I had Mac down for a 2-1 win, and I thought that was optimistic.
We all thought that was optimistic.
Genuinely, I thought 2-1 was optimistic. Not only did I think 2-1 was optimistic, but I got laughed at.
I'd be very surprised if anybody got the right score.
There's not a person on this planet that would have got that score right.
For those that
don't know, you are about to be surprised.
I do just want to say, remember my comment about saying in the lower leagues, the gap between those teams isn't as big as people would assume.
You did say that. Yeah. You did say that. To the point where you thought Dorking would only win 1-0.
Yeah.
So you were a little bit out. I actually put in brackets that you were going to say 2-0 to Dorking, but you changed it and you went with 1. You thought Mac would get spanked 4-1.
I got the right amount of goals.
Yeah. Jay and Daryl both put 2-2. And he put, Tin says, I need to give Mac a chance, so I'm going to put it down as a draw. So he's put 2-2, and I put a 2-1 win. Now, Macclesfield won against Dorking 5-0 with a disallowed goal. I'm not sure anybody saw that result coming. No. Even the most ardent Macclesfield fan, I don't think they saw 5-0 coming. So I was the only one that got a point in the Mac game because I had Mac to win. So I was pleased. So I win this week with 3 points. Tin and Daryl got 2 points each. You and Jade languishing with a point each.
That's okay.
Which basically means that so far, Daryl is still winning with 13 points.
Yep.
Jim Jam is second with 11 points. Tin Ribs then with 10 points. Me then with 9 points. So it's pretty close. 11, 10 and 9.
I just want to point out, if that last 10 minutes you got scrubbed, I'd be top at 14.
No, because I'd have got
I'd still be
points
top
as well.
Yeah, but I'd have had 2 sets.
Oh, yeah, 2 sets.
I was literally 10 minutes to go.
You'd have had the Leeds you had as 2-0. And the Saints you had as
so I'd have actually shot to the top. That's why I was like,
yes, you would be 14, you'd be 13, I'd be 9. So I'd be days behind both of you. So I'm quite happy about that last goal, I'll be honest, because it keeps me in with a shout. Obviously, me fourth with 9 points, and Alien J is now languishing on his own at the back with 7 points. So I can't even take the piss really, because he's the only one that's emailed us and said, I'm genuinely not a football fan, I'm just going to get involved because it's a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
So I can't take the piss. So technically that means I'm still last, because I'm the only football fan in it that's not doing very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that, boys. Still last.
So
but I won the week
games, haven't we?
So what we need to do now is we need to choose 3 games for next week that we are going to guess on. So, Tin Ribs, if you would go to FOTMob, please.
Yeah, we know who the good games are.
And if you would like to give us a Leeds, a Southampton, and an Arsenal game.
So the
date.
Yeah, so the Leeds game is on the Sunday, 21st.
21st. Leeds at home.
Home against Preston.
Leeds v Preston. Oh, that's going to be a good game.
We are Saturday lunchtime game.
Yeah, 21st. Yep.
Swansea away.
So you've got Swan. Oh no,
that's on the 20th. We're the Sunday.
20th.
Yeah, we're Sunday.
20th. So you've got Swansea. The Saints. Okay.
And at the exact same time, you have Arsenal Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Right, so Arsenal v Palace. So we're going to go Tin Ribs first, or Swansea versus Southampton.
I think we're going to get revenge for the...
Swansea versus Southampton.
Sorry. I think Southampton are going to win 2-1.
Let's see. Tin has got 2-1 Saints. Jim.
He really wants to say Swansea.
I really don't.
After the 5-0 drumming, that's go over.
Swansea 1.
Swansea 1.
Southampton 3.
Southampton 3. I'm going to go 2-2. Because I just don't think Southampton can win forever.
We don't win every game. We've drawn some.
I know, it's nice. I'm hoping you draw this one because it gives me more points.
Yeah.
Leeds v Preston. Jim Jam.
Leeds 4.
Jesus.
Preston 1.
Leeds 4, Preston 1. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Tin Ribs.
I think we're going to get revenge for the cheaty game that they won. And I think we're going to do them 2-0.
You think 2-0? I'm going to put in brackets that I had put 1 each. But I've just changed my mind and I think you're going to win 2-1. But initially I did think it was going to be 1 each. I'm still borderline. But I'm going to go for the 2-1 win for Leeds.
Fair enough.
Arsenal versus the winning team. Tin Ribs.
Crystal Palace 2-1.
Crystal Palace 2-1.
Sorry.
It's
just Arsenal can't.
I'd love to be annoyed about it, but part of me thinks it's going to be a thing. So, Jim Jam. Palace v Arsenal. Arsenal at home.
I'm really thinking 0-0.
0-0.
Ball draw, yeah.
I just can't see an Arsenal goal.
That's the problem.
I can't see Palace winning. I think Arsenal are going to win, but I think it might even be an own goal.
I'm going to put in brackets. Maybe own goal.
If that game's won an own goal.
Maybe own goal by Palace. And if that happens, you'll get a bonus point. In fact, I think that's so out of there. We'll put that down as 2 bonus points.
Arsenal win because
it's a 1-0 win from an own goal.
So it doesn't matter what the score is. If Palace score an own goal, I will give you 2 bonus points just for predicting a Palace own goal. Right, now, having watched Arsenal for many, many months of my life and seeing how shocking they've been lately, I am genuinely, hand on heart, going to go for an Arsenal win. Genuinely, because I've seen how ridiculous Arsenal games can get.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go for 4-0.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to go for 4-0 Arsenal. I will put that out as soon as I can to Jane Darrell, get their predictions.
You think that it's all going to click?
It's just Arsenal's way. It's Arsenal's way. It's what they do. It's what they do. So we shall catch up with that next time and see how it all goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully Arsenal get a nice 4-0 win. Probably all scored by Gabriel and Kirill coming up from the back. It's certainly not going to be the front line, is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. We love you all, and we shall see you next week.